Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. My special guest, Chloe Guidry. She plays Cleo in the film Wayward.
Hey y'all.
Welcome back,
Thank
Chloe.
you.
So, Colleen Camp. She's a producer and a veteran actress known for her work in films such as American Hustle, one of my favorites, Clue, another favorite, Election, and Apocalypse Now. She's built a reputation as a champion of independent cinema. With decades of experience in front of and behind the camera, she has supported bold storytelling and emerging filmmakers like Jacquelyn Frohlich. Wayward, by the way, is Jacquelyn's first film, and I just can't believe that. She did such a great job. But back to Colleen Camp. As both an actress and an executive producer on Wayward, she expressed her enthusiasm for the film this way. Jacquelyn Frohlich's film, Wayward, is a powerful example of why independent filmmaking matters. It's compelling and deeply personal. Supporting independent films and authentic storytelling is vital to the well being and the success of our industry. I'm honored to be part of this film, and I'm excited for audience to discover it. Okay, I'm going to remind you again. Friday, April 4th, you can stream it on Apple Plus, Google, Apple Plus, and Apple TV, Google Plus, and also, what did I say? That was the last one. There's another one. How did I forget that? Amazon TV. Okay, so do that. Watch it this weekend. I'd love you to join us, and you get to know Chloe a little bit ahead of time. So that what a great pre-screening a great way to pre-screen Chloe. So again, my special guest today is actress Chloe Guidry. She's playing Cleo and Wayward. And I'm going to remind you, just in case you're just jumping in the car or something and you're listening for the first time, here's the storyline of Wayward. While moving from Idaho to Los Angeles with her mother, an 11-year-old girl yearning for stability becomes smitten with a charismatic female hitchhiker that they pick up along the way. And as she detaches more and more from her mother, the girl forms an unlikely bond with the hitchhiker, which blurs the line between running away and kidnapping. And that's all I'm going to tell you. I mean, I don't want to, no plot. I don't want to ruin the plot here for you. But it has twists and turns. And if you think you know what's going to happen next, you don't. So just don't, I'm going to tell you now so you don't get disappointed in yourself. You can't guess the ending. And sometimes getting lost is the only way out. So, Chloe Guidry,
Yes.
she's a Notre Dame High School senior. 14 days left. 14 days left. Do you guys remember what that feels like? The hallways, or are you guys just trashing the halls and throwing your papers out? And I know you did all that. You probably do that on the last day, right? Chloe's blown audiences away with her performances in Wayward, The Park, Walk the Prank, Last Tycoon, and Joe Dirt, Part Two. Under the Bridge on Hulu made it to the top 15 best shows of 2024. Chloe, how much of your strong performances on screen come from the influences of the strong women in your life?
I think a lot of it, a huge sum of it comes from the women in my life. I mean, I've always had great examples of, my mom first starting out was that's the woman that, I go off of everything from. And then my grandma, my cousins, whole family, but then being introduced to someone like Jacqueline. I mean, she did this whole thing. This was her first one, and what an incredible job she did in all aspects. And working on Under the Bridge, Quinn Shepard that I worked with, she spearheaded everything. And then like actors like Riley Keough and Jess Weixler, and so many amazing women that really pushed me to be the best actress that I can. And like I've had the same acting coach as I did in my first acting class. Her name is Nicole Bure, and the amount of collaboration. And I mean, I really don't even call her my coach. She's truly my mentor in all aspects. But I think a lot of it comes from the women in my life, in every aspect.
Tell me about your grandmother. What did you learn from her?
uh, she was she was a great woman. She had multiple sclerosis, so she lived in a wheelchair, and she was bedridden for a lot of her life. But the most faith filled, woman I've ever taken example from. She never complained. She never had a negative thing to say. I mean, it was just straight love and caring and positivity from all aspects. I mean, she supported me in everything. She'd watch on her little iPad everything I would do, and the love that I could feel from her was truly incredible. And then my mom, off my dad's side, the same thing. Like, I can't even begin to say how much support and love that I've received from my family. Both of my grandmas have outdid themselves in all aspects. They're not with us anymore, but
No.
I've had great examples, and I'll take everything that they've shown me and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
And they're wow, I bet they were so proud of you, and they are with you, I'm sure.
of course.
Uh, every day they're there with you and still cheering you on. Uh, and your mom, I have had the honor of communicating with your mom a little bit, setting up this interview. Seems like a really great person. Tell me about your mom. What have you learned from her?
I've learned pretty much everything.
All of it. How
um
long do we have?
I mean, she's truly like my best friend in everything I go through. She can give me any advice I need, any support that I need. I always go to her. That's my first person I go to. But she was also my mom. She also taught me right,
Mhm.
and she was a great mother. And I could only hope to be as half as amazing as her. But truly, like she just I'm speechless. Like she's just such a, like, when I think of a mom, like that's I think of my mom. Like I wish that everyone had a mom like I do. It's just love and the way you treat people, and not only how you feel but how everybody else feels. She's the most considerate and selfless person. So she's truly amazing.
Now you said she was the best mom. Did she do something to make you mad today?
No, she is.
She is the best mom.
She is.
Okay.
Of course, you get a little spiffles, but she's the best.
I hope you don't mind if I embarrass you. I've probably done that a few times already on this show, and you're thinking, why did I say yes to this? But I love this about you. If I can, if you don't like it, I'll cut it out. But fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, and 20 student of the year, highest award, the Catholic Action Award. You received that. You were honor classes, AB honor roll, 3.9 GPA, first through 11th grade. Chloe, you are a smarty.
Thank you. Thank I that's Education was always really important to me. My mom always told me to have that foundation. Just, I mean, acting, that you get your own foundation from it, but just the business side of things, it's so important to be aware of everything, and to be the best version of yourself. And I think that starts with, learning to balance how to go on set, but also really back in and do the business side and the school side of it. Even from fifth grade, she's always taught me that. And the Catholic Action, I mean, that was just I've always gone to a Catholic school, and I still do. But just having my faith was really important in everything I do. So yeah.
Well, okay, so let me just kind of like sit back and look at what I know about you right now.
Yeah.
An incredible, I mean, incredible doesn't even, it's not even the right word. It needs to be a bigger word, but just incredible actress. Obviously so disciplined and talented, but there's behind that great acting, there's a lot of work that you put in, I am sure, that we don't know about that makes it come off that seamless and that compelling, that appealing to watch you as an actor. Then we go to your school and your grades, and that you're hitting all these achievements that you've got a 3.9. What, by the way, what subject screwed you up from the four?
Probably math.
Math, that was mine too.
Yeah.
I had a 3.9. In high school, I had a 1.6. I barely graduated. But in college, I had a 3.9,
Yeah.
and math got me. It knocked my 1 point off.
It's tough. I used to love math, but it's a struggle.
It
It
is a struggle. It's hard.
is.
Well, you've got that other side of brain. I forget which one it is. I think it's the right side that's creative, right? So
Yeah,
math
yeah,
is like they conflict against that.
they do.
Uh, I think you made the right choice with your brain.
Thank you.
So, all those, these achievements are hard work. You keeping up with your friends and keeping up with high school and growing as a person, a young person going into adulthood. There's a lot here. There's a lot that you've accomplished. There's a lot of pressure there. Do you feel pressure to succeed? And how?
Definitely. I think it I think it's personal pressure I put on myself. Obviously you feel the weight of like other people, but I think it's pressure from me. Just always trying to be better and better and being the best version of myself and pushing myself. It's definitely hard at times. There's definitely times where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna break. I'm overwhelmed.
Mhm.
But I always tell myself like you're gonna get through it. In the next 24 hours, you're gonna get through it, and it's all gonna be okay.
That's a good trick. I like that. In the next 24 hours, it's going to change. Do you give yourself and allow yourself space and time to not think about your success and push yourself too hard?
Definitely, I definitely think there's times where I just need to be alone. Like that's sometimes just being alone, being quiet, and doing something that you enjoy. It really quiets your mind. It puts me at peace. And it really like centers myself to say like, okay, you can keep going, you can keep doing this. Yeah.
And you've got a group of really close friends that you surround yourself with, which I think is super healthy. Friends that have been there from the beginning, right? As
Right.
you succeed and you know, get more and more famous. What do they do for your mental health and for your
Yeah.
well-being?
They, I mean, they treat me like Chloe. They've never, put this pedestal on. Oh, she's in this. Oh, she's in that. They've just treated me as Chloe. They've loved me no matter what. They have always been by my side. And whatever I'm honestly struggling with, finding people that lead me in the right direction and not going to teenage ways was. I mean, it's definitely a struggle now. I mean, there's so much out there, but having that close knit group of people that lead me to do better in every circumstance and every situation has truly like helped my mental health.
How do you compartmentalize the process of stepping into your character's shoes? Because you go all in, right? You become that character. If it's 7 months, 3 months, however long you're on that project, you go all in and you
Mm-hmm.
become and try to understand who you're playing to honor that character. And when you have such a full life, like I've just described, you know, you're in gymnastics, you play a guitar, dance, all these things aside from what we've just mentioned. How do you compartmentalize that? How do you go, hey, I'm the character, but I'm also Chloe?
I think finding myself first of all, that's always being on track with myself was really important, and taking the time sometimes just to quiet all the noise around me or quiet my mind has helped me in the long run with my roles or whatever I was going with. Because when I have a role that I feel really passionate about, I do go on all in. I put my 100% work into it, and that starts with just reading the script. But after that, you have to internalize them and make them their own person. Away from Chloe, obviously, I'm gonna put um my things that I've gone through and my vulnerability into what I do. But learning to separate that, it's definitely a struggle, like I said, at times. Um, but I think that having yourself first is really important, and then your character. When you're in your character, to separate Chloe from it, whatever you're going through, which is
And you're able to do that?
yeah, yeah, definitely. I feel like when I'm on set, everything that's going on personally or whatever that I didn't choose to put into my acting or relate to in my character, it just goes away. And that's why I say it's my happy place. Yeah.
Do you let's see if you like this too. You said that being on set earlier is your happy place. You just repeated that.
Yeah.
Don't you love the smell? This is a weird question. Don't you love the smell of a set, a movie set, or a theater like backstage behind the curtains? Don't you
It
just
really it depends where you are on location, whatever. But in a studio, it's like the wood. You always smell the
yeah.
wood because they're always building the sets. So the wood's kind of just like, oh, it's home. And
Yeah, it's such a
my dad works
weird question, I know, but
no, my dad works wood, so like in a way, it's like okay, like comfortable, like home, like it's
Yeah.
good.
It's like aromatherapy in a weird way.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
know. I mean, just from like the cords and the plastic smell and the
Yeah.
old like in an old TV or movie studio, it smells like it's been there for a long time, like a grandma's house or something. I just love all the
I,
things about that.
I agree.
All right, very good. I'm glad that landed and I didn't embarrass myself too much.
Oh.
How many projects would you like to do each year if you could? Do you do that for yourself? Do you go, I want to do 2 or 3 a year, or when I got out of school, I want to, do this many? Or do you just say, I'm just going to focus one by one and do the best I can?
It's one by one. No matter, like, I mean, obviously getting all these projects is definitely the end goal, and everything, but I think finding roles that really speak to me instead of just doing all these roles just to have them. I think finding roles like Cleo, like Josephine, um that I really relate with, and that I can not relate with, but I really feel like I can dive into, and that are really deep. I feel like I tend to go towards more deep roles. Um in any way or situation. But I think that ultimately, of course, when I get out of high school, I think it's gonna hopefully open more doors where I can work for longer when I turn 18.
Will you
But
be moving to the West Coast or the East Coast?
I think just wherever it takes me. I always definitely want to have like my home here.
All there. Yeah.
But I love I've never been to New York. I would love to go to New York. But I love LA, so living there would not be a problem for Vancouver. I lived there, so um yeah, just finding roles that really speak to me is the most important. Not trying to say I want to do this many, I want to do this many. Obviously you're gonna have like your dream roles, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you plan on going to college since studying and education is so important to you?
I
And
do. I
what are you going to study if so?
probably marketing or business. I already do like dual enrollment through a local college. It's our LSU, but it's a side like LSU side colleges. But I think online is what I'm gonna do. And you never know what's gonna happen. But I think I definitely want to get a degree. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about this today and do you realize that you're the new Hollywood?
That's
You're,
great.
yeah, like you are I mean, after the strikes and everything, that Hollywood has changed so much, and with streamers and all that, the way the production is going these days has really changed, and the mo business model has changed. So
Mhm.
really, you are the first in that. You're the new Hollywood. You're a fresh actor, one of those actors that we're going to see for years,
I
a
hope
first
so.
generation of actors, and to navigate the new streaming business model. And there's kind of this golden age of watching everything on TV and not as much in the theaters. What's your take on the business right now? What's your opinions on that?
I think a lot of it is definitely going into more like streaming services, and it's definitely easier to watch for everyone to have access to. Um, I feel like that's really important. But like you said, like the new Hollywood, that's surreal to me to think. But I definitely
I want to see you on a Vanity Fair cover. The new Hollywood, how they
hope
do that.
so. Yes, that would be amazing, and I hope my opportunities come in to be like that. But I definitely see a shift more to online services or streaming services. But yeah.
Did you go to movies? Like, was that your first taste of film in Hollywood? Was actually going to movies with your parents, or what? Or had it already got into, watching everything at home?
I think like our little movie experiences were like, oh, cool, like let's just go watch it, let's go do this, and I feel like I always had like a yearning towards that. My grandpa actually got me a set. It was Shirley Temple, and it was like DVD after DVD. And when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, mom!" I'd say like, "Oh, mom, like how am I on that? How am I on that screen?" And she was like, "Chloe, that's not you." But in my little head, I was like,
That
"No."
was you.
And the way it turned out with The Last Tycoon being Sally Sweet, which was like Shirley Temple's like rival at the time, that was crazy. But I think that I always had that like yearning, no matter where I watched it, um, was just like expressing myself in the acting way. I feel like I always had that.
We were drawn in.
It was.
And a star was born, Chloe Guidry. She plays Cleo in Wayward, the film. It's available for streaming on Friday, April 4th, this Friday, right now on Apple TV, Google Plus, and Amazon. You can go to waywardfilm.com to find more and to find special screenings, or Instagram at wayward underscore the film. Get a little behind the scenes there on Instagram. Follow Chloe Guidry. Don't follow too close, but follow her. She is shooting to the stars. She's already up there. She's just an incredible actor. So happy to have her on the show today. Chloe underscore Guidry, Guidry, and IMDb. You can go there and start watching, binging all her shows, everything she's been in. You can get a good list right there on TikTok at Chloe underscore Anna Lynn. We're going to be right back with more. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about Wayward.